on my screen, it stopped at 4.
Hmm.
But
Mine went to
it's
1.
Not Your Average Guy show. It is January 27th. And we are live. We might be live on YouTube. Here we go. Boom. There we go. Live on YouTube,
Oh
I
boy.
think. Here we go. Cut that. Yeah. So if you're watching, comment. I've got it pulled up, and I will
Do you have any
Maybe
viewers?
comment back to you.
Oh,
Well,
no viewers
me.
yet?
Yeah,
Oh.
we have me. We have one. Anyway, all right. So what do we got? I called Jimmy right when this happened and was bemoaning the fact again that I don't have a dash cam, because if I did have a dash cam, I would have gotten it worked up so that I could show the World Wide Web tonight. But I was driving down a highway right over here on my way home from work, and I was like, what is that? Look, it's a minivan coming at me, obviously with something on top of it. And whenever it got close and past me, I realized it was a full couch,
Mhm.
like
On
an
top?
actual couch strapped to the top of a minivan, rolling down the highway at 50 miles an hour or
The
whatever.
old Facebook Marketplace find.
Heck yeah. It was great.
Yeah, you don't get to see a couch on top of a van very often.
No, you don't. Not often enough, I would say.
We should buy a van, like a crappy old minivan, and strap stuff to the top of it and drive around.
Just, just for the purpose of
Yeah,
strapping things to the top of it.
and we could put like a sign on the side of the van that's like, Darcy and Jimmy's moving company.
Not your average guys.
Not your
Moving-
average guy
Moving Co.
moving.
And don't put a phone number.
Oh yeah, no phone number.
And then put one of the stickers that says, "This vehicle is not for hire" on the side of it.
Let's do it. All right,
Yeah.
let's see what we can find. I'm gonna look on Facebook Marketplace and see what I can find.
Yeah. Maybe we could go haul it with our couch.
Well, yeah, we'll buy stuff on Facebook Marketplace, and we'll pick it up in the van and throw it on the top and strap it down, and we'll film the whole thing and throw it onto YouTube. Maybe we'll get some likes.
Yeah, well, probably.
And then we'll just
Dan,
take it over to your house and burn it.
the van.
No, the couch.
All of it.
Yeah, all of it.
Dan, I just this evening happened to pull up Facebook, and there was your cousin announcing to the world that he's leaving Kansas City.
Taylor?
Yeah,
Yeah, he is. That's the plan.
kind of wild.
I didn't see the announcement, but if he put it on,
He was
put it on Facebook, we might as well put it on YouTube. Let me see. He
it's
just
kind of long.
I mean, I already knew that he was. I mean,
Sure.
it's
I didn't
it's
think.
not a written. He's talking.
No, he's Facebook Live. Yeah.
Oh, this one's perfect. It's even got duct tape holding the mirror together.
Oh,
2007 Chrysler Town and Country LX minivan, $2,000.
show us a picture. Let's see a picture of it.
I don't think
I mean,
he's moving right away.
This might just be
Yeah.
like a drive-by
That's-
from someone else's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can steal this van for you for $2,000. That's a great business plan. He's like, oh yeah, no, you can't look at it right now. They're not home from work
It
yet.
does have the duct tape on the mirror picture.
Yeah.
Nice. Very nice.
It's oh man, there's a lot of stuff to say about it.
Oh,
204,000 miles. Um,
So on the him leaving, condense what you heard down to like 30 seconds or something.
Okay.
Then I won't watch the
Um,
video.
yeah. Okay. He said that big announcement, real big announcement. It's been in the works for a little bit, but now it's gonna need to be out in the open, and it's
30
exciting.
seconds.
And so he and the kids are moving to Florida. So the kid's mom has already moved to Florida to be closer to her family down there, and that's been good for her. Maybe just new start. And so they talked about it, and he's going to move down there too. So he's excited, but he's nervous, and he's not looking forward to all of the goodbyes here because he's made a pretty decent life here over the last, I don't know, how old is he? 30 some years.
35 probably. 33.
And he's been living in his house for about 10 years, and he's got a lot of stuff. And if you want some of it, he'll probably give it to you.
Mm.
we could go over there with the minivan.
We should go over
Yeah.
there. He actually has a Chevy, no, a GMC Sierra WT from about 96 that I've been trying to talk him out of. And Taylor, if you're out there, take this.
He
take
is out
this-
there, but he's not listening. He's not
if you're out
watching our
there
podcast.
listening, I think that you gotta so we've talked about it, and I've made this suggestion that you got to start at. So what happened is back in the day he was working with me and he got this truck, and then like right after
It
he
had-
got it,
Had all the windows in it.
it had all the windows in it before his dad borrowed it and broke the window out and brought it back with broken windows. But the guy he bought it from had an oil leak that he just kept adding oil and kept adding oil. And then, sold it to Taylor. Taylor didn't realize that it had this bad oil leak. And the guy was like driving, if I remember right, I could be totally unremembering this. He drove like 5 miles to and from Longview Community College, is what the other guy did, back and forth. So he'd put like a freaking quart of oil in it every day. And he sold it for $1,500 or $2,000 or I don't know, $3,000, whatever it was. It burned up on Taylor almost immediately. So Taylor turned around, and instead of just being like, hey guy, you really hosed me there, he instead went and spent like quite a bit of money, $6,000 or $8,000, getting an engine dropped into this fairly old truck already. Probably already a 96, 2006, close to 20-year-old truck. So he put a new engine in, and when companies say, hey, yeah, we'll put that engine in for X dollars, what they don't tell you is like anything that they run into in between, like pulling the engine and dropping the new engine in, is added to that price. Yeah, it's on you. If they have to put a new starter in, if they have to put new belts in, if they have to wall around a bolt, if they like, so it ended up costing him like a bunch of money. And he could have easily gone out and bought a different truck for the money he dumped into that one because he wasn't able to cut his losses. This is my opinion. So it has started not running a few years ago, not running well. He got a company truck that was way better, and he could go get it fixed on company time. And so he just drove his company truck. So his truck's been sitting there. And again, he wants to sell his truck, and he's hoping to get about 5 times what it's worth because he put a new engine in it back in 2016. And so he's in his mind, he's got this new engine in this old truck. And I was going to make the suggestion to him, not that we needed to get on this tangent, that maybe he would let me haul the truck to my place and I would haul it to Scott's and see if Scott thought that like it could be fixed. And then we would take whatever the expense of fixing it out of the Blue Book value was. But he was thinking, nah, that engine's worth way too much. And so this isn't like a PSA for Taylor. This is a PSA for any person who is watching, for our viewer. There's a thing called the sunk cost fallacy. And that is the belief that whatever you've put into something is lost if you decide to go a different direction. And continuing down a path that is useless or worthless is better because you don't want to lose what you've already lost. But the reality is sometimes you just have to step back and decide, I'm going to cut my losses on this one and I'm going to save time, energy, effort by cutting my losses, admit that I lost and move on.
That's what Darcy's doing with his white truck.
Yeah, in a way, but not with the red one.
Nope.
Sometimes you cut your losses and you keep moving. I mean,
well, with him moving to Florida, I bet his motivation to sell is going to go up.
Go up, maybe, could be. He's also thinking about keeping his house here, and he might do it.
He already has had a couple of offers, so
Good.
He's talking about the new owners
Of buyers for it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's good. I talked to him and I was like, dude, you don't want to come back up to visit your family only when you need to fix your rental property.
Yeah.
You just want to come up here and visit people you know because you want to be here. You don't want to be owning a rental property that's a whole
13
day
hours away.
A whole day of travel away. More than that, don't you think?
I don't know.
What part of
he's
Florida?
Gonna be,
Oh,
he's
Destin.
gonna be near Destin. I bet it's 20.
Yeah, that's like, yeah, I don't know. I'll Google it.
I have no idea. I've never driven to Florida.
I feel like the girls, even flying, the girls took, what was it? About a 10-hour total trip time, start to finish, because of layovers and everything.
Oh, that's nothing. You could drive that easy. It's 15 hours.
15 hours.
I wasn't that far off, I guess.
I have a hard time believing that because isn't Destin farther than Pensacola? And I've driven to Pensacola. No,
it's basically right next to Pensacola.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I was wrong.
West of Pensacola?
It's east by a little bit.
Whoa, east of Pensacola?
A little bit. Like the next town over.
Okay. Yeah, west. So west of Pensacola, you're almost in Alabama, right? Am I thinking of that right?
Yeah, that's going to be like Gulf Shores, Alabama.
Yeah, you don't go very far west of Pensacola and you're in a different state.
Yes, that is true.
Speaking of, when we were in Pensacola, we went to Alabama to visit these guys.
Oh, yeah.
What were these guys? Gator Dave's LLC. No, that's not what it was. It was like it was an alligator rescue.
Is that the place Bergetzi goes?
the Serpentarium.
And that
Cape Fear Serpentarium.
That story he tells about that is pretty fun.
That one's that one's a pretty fun place. You get, have you been to one of those places, guys?
Yeah.
No.
No? Okay, so Jimmy, at least the one we went to, you get these little cups. You buy these cups, and then the first fill is free, and then like they're like your like Martin City cup. It's a little bigger than like a water cup at like a restaurant, but you scoop these gator foods that look like little poops. They're like little turd looking things about like that long and that, right? And then you just chuck them, and the gators just come and just pound on these things. And that's like they feed the gators for free by selling you the food to feed them.
That's
It's
how
actually
all those places are though. Like there's places with fish and birds and whatever, and you're paying money to get in, and then you're paying money to buy the food to feed the animals.
right. It's a great plan. I like it.
It is a good plan.
I want to.
I should do that with my goats.
You should.
I mean, that is the point of the petting zoo, is for people to pay to feed your goats. As long as when you get payment for the food, the person doesn't come and slaughter your goat and throw it in the back of their truck and head out without.
That would never happen.
Dude, I've got a good one, and I would have brought you guys in on it, but the first person I thought of was my brother Trevor, so I brought him in on it. So he's my witness on this. I got a robocall tonight from a very lifelike sounding AI agent who had a British accent, really nice guy. And the thing was, like, just a few seconds, 20 seconds into the call, I could tell that it was an AI, because I do talk to AI quite a bit purposefully, right? So I know the telltale signs that I'm talking to a chatbot. Okay. The funny thing about this chatbot was, while his task was technically to probably move me forward in their funnel to somebody else who was going to sell me real estate leads because I'm a realtor, the thing about this chatbot was that he had no foibles about the fact that I could order him around and he would just do whatever I told him. So I was like, okay, wait, pause, start your program again. And he would do it. And so I was playing around with that for a while. And then I was like, pause, hold on a second, and be like, okay, I'll give you a moment. And I was like, can you start your whole pitch over in Spanish? And he's like, yes, I can do that. And he would start his spiel over in Spanish. Nice. And then I was like, no, I think I would prefer that you do your spiel in French. And he would do it in French.
Wow.
Like, it was way cool. I'm not going to lie. And so I patched my brother Trevor in on a call, and I was like, okay, Trevor, just be quiet. Listen to what I'm doing to this thing. And then Trevor's like, and then I hung up with the chatbot, and Trevor's like, why'd you do that? I was like, he called me. And he's like, what? Because he, of course, assumed that I had just spun up this chatbot and then started telling it all these different languages. I get him to do it in real estate leads, like real estate sales. He did it in Swahili. He did it in French, Spanish, German, and Russian.
Dang.
And as far as I know, he did a good job, because I don't speak any of those languages.
How did he do in English?
He was pleasant. He was really pleasant. Yeah.
That's funny. Did you buy some real estate leads?
No, I ended up just getting tired of it and hanging up on him eventually.
Oh, well.
Oh, I should tell the story about Saturday, my neighbors.
Yes, you should.
That was a good one. So Saturday.
Hold up. back up.
Okay. How far back?
Whoa. That's a big old fat fly just flew past my face.
Whoa.
Well, maybe you'll just have to, maybe you won't have to really back up. Maybe it'll just be a side note when you get into it of some of the other things you've witnessed
Should I start with
over
one of
there.
the side notes?
I don't know.
I will a little bit. So over the summer, we had our closest neighbors moved away, and the new people that moved in are from Burma. And there are like 3 generations of people living in the home. I think 9 people living there, ranging from, I don't know, the oldest dude there is probably 60s, and the youngest is probably like 4. And man, they're an interesting bunch. They do some crazy
They're
things.
friendly.
Very friendly. Darcy
They
has
came
met
over and introduced themselves, sort of.
sort of.
I think their realtor dragged her over there
Yeah, 100%.
and introduced her to us.
And I don't remember her name. I only remember the one dude. His name is July, and that's all I can remember. But Anna has an office in the front corner of the house, and there are 2 windows, one facing the front of the house and one facing the east. And the house that these people live in is that direction. So a lot of mornings, when Anna's working from home, I'll make some coffee and I'll give her one, and I'll sit there in the chair, and I can see from the chair that I'm sitting in, I can see the neighbor's house kind of. And here this fall, I looked out the window, and here's old dude raking up leaves and putting them into a burn barrel that was no more than 4 feet from his car and maybe 8 to 10 feet away from the house, and flames just shooting up out of this thing. And then he's grabbing more leaves and throwing them down in there and smashing them in there, and flames are shooting up everywhere. I'm like,
Because his
oh,
property
man.
line is that close to the house?
What?
No, he's just in the driveway, in between his car and the house.
Yeah.
So not because his property line is super close to the house.
No, this property line is nowhere near the house.
They have probably the same as you, right? 3 acres-ish?
Yeah, 3 acres. Yeah. And so
I'm still here. I'm just walking upstairs.
so he's burning this. I'm like, oh my God. I said, I'm going to sit here and watch this dude burn his house down or blow his car up or both. But he didn't. And so that was, I don't know, November. Well, here Saturday, I was on the phone with Darcy, and I was walking around my house. It was cold outside. People's pipes were frozen. And I looked out the window towards the neighbor's house, and I see smoke coming from the backyard, and I'm like, huh, I think their chicken coop's on fire. So I was like, hey, Darcy, hey, I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna call this guy. So I called July, and I was like, hey man, are you home? Yeah. I was like, is everything all right over there? Because it looks like there's some smoke coming out of your chicken coop. And he starts into some language that I don't know, and he's yelling and just going crazy. And I eventually just hang up the phone. And the chicken coop is just in flames at this point, like 50 feet into the sky, just huge flames, and they're running around out there trying to figure out what to do. So I put some warm clothes on, and I walked over there, and I mean, this thing is just, there's no way anyone is putting it out. And so we just stood there and watched it burn. And the fire department showed up, but just in a pickup truck. And the fire chief guy was like, yeah, he's like, our pumper truck's on on a house fire south of town, and we can't get anybody out here. And he's like, it looks like this thing's just gonna take care of itself here pretty soon. He's like, I think we'll just let it burn. And they were like, all right. Well, I'm standing there talking with July, and I was like, hey man, what kind of heater did you have going in there? And keep in mind, like, I don't know, it's he doesn't speak very good English, so I have a little bit hard time understanding him, and he probably doesn't understand me very well. So I'm like, "What kind of heater do you have in there? Did you have in there?" And he's like, "Oh, the barrel. We had a barrel in the fire." I was like, "You had a barrel fire going in there?" He's like, "Yeah, I guess the sparks came out." I was like, "Yeah, that'll do it." And I was just like, "Oh man." Dude had a freaking 55-gallon metal drum with a fire going in the middle of his indoor chicken coop. Here, I'll show
It
you.
burns down.
It's gone.
Oh,
So this, I pulled this picture off of Zillow because it was just listed for sale. So a decently nice building. And this is what it looked like when I
Is
walked
that
over it.
attached to the house?
No, it's probably 30, 40 feet from the house. It's in the backyard.
I'm so confused. So it's a chicken coop,
uh-huh.
and he thought that he could warm it by putting a burn barrel inside of it,
Yeah,
and it wouldn't kill the chickens.
right.
And he was
It
surprised
did.
that it burned down.
Yeah. Two chickens somehow made it out and survived. And the lady was holding, like she had them in her arms. She was holding both of them. And I was like, hey, I said, I know a few people right around here that have chicken coops, and I'm sure they would be fine with you putting them in their coops until you guys figure out what you're going to do here. And she's like, oh, no, we'll just put them in the house. I was like, okay. So now they have two chickens in the house.
Yep.
So, not to get like too heavy into like, not to go on a total tangent away from that into technology, but
This is from my bedroom window.
I listened to a interview with old Elon. Are they getting ready to scoop snow and try to toss it on it?
I don't know what they were doing. She said they tried to get the garden hose, but it was frozen and no water would come out. But that thing was too far gone. Like there ain't no water hose gonna put that thing out.
So Elon was talking about the other day in an interview or in a chat with some people about how there's going to be, because of AI and robotics, there's going to be so much abundance that no one's even going to be able to think of anything else that they want effectively. Like I'm paraphrasing what he said, but basically that we're just like AI and robotics, it's just going to be so ubiquitous that you're going to be like, I want a thing. I want this thing to be made, and your robot is going to just make it, get it, whatever. And as he was talking about it, I thought, like, I'm all about it, Elon. Like, that sounds great. The problem is that you have been swimming in circles of people who are so ridiculously intelligent that they're no use to anyone anymore for way too long. If you think, one, that people are going to be smart enough to know what they want, two, you haven't met some people. Like that right there is just like, that's not an education problem. That's not a where you came from in the world problem. That's just stupid.
Yeah.
You're just stupid. And
Yeah.
you're going to move your chickens into the house. What is their house like? No offense to your neighbors, but like, what is their house like? If they're just like, could be in the chicken coop, could be in our house.
Jimmy,
Probably not a lot
have you
different.
ever been in their house, like carrying a refrigerator or anything?
One time. Yeah. Back up to the summer when they were moving into the house. I got home from work and I'm standing in the driveway and I'm looking over there and I'm watching this dude in like his car with a trailer on it, and on that trailer is a refrigerator laying down on its backside. And he's backing up and he's going forward and back and forth like 10 times, and gets out and looks and back in the car and moves, and eventually he gets the car where he wants it. And I can see him trying to get the refrigerator off of the trailer, and he's struggling. He's by himself. And I'm standing there watching, and I'm like, and I haven't met this dude at this point. I'm like, well, I guess this is the time to go meet my neighbor. So I walk over there and I'm like, hey man, you need some help? And he doesn't understand what I'm saying. And I'm trying to figure out how to like explain to him what I'm trying to do. And eventually we figure it out. He's like, yeah. So the refrigerator's laying on its back. The doors are off and it's full of food. And I was like, man, we need to get this food out of here if we're going to be moving it into the house. Yeah. He yells into the house, and the kids come out and they start grabbing stuff out of there and hauling it into the house. And I mean, there's stuff in there. I don't know what it is. None of it smells very good. It's been sitting in an open refrigerator. It's 95 degrees outside. And some of what's in there are carp, like these giant carp that haven't been gutted. They're just full, like frozen, thawed
Are you
carp.
sure they haven't been gutted?
There was fully intact.
Oh.
And they're slimy and they're stinky, and the kids are grabbing them. I'm like, all right. So we get the refrigerator and we start hauling it into the house. And all of that stuff that was in the refrigerator that's melting all over the place is on the living room floor, just oozing and little like liquid channels of stuff floating around on the floor. And we get the refrigerator all the way into the house, and right in the middle of the living room floor, I'm like, where are we going with this thing? Oh, this is good. This is good. I was like, all right. I got out of there.
And one of the doors had flown off, right?
No, they were just they'd taken them off.
Okay.
I don't think they flew off. They were just he'd taken them off at some point
to get it out the door, maybe.
Probably to get it out of the old house, and then left them off. And then when we got to the new house, I don't know where they were. Who knows? Yeah. And then one time I got home from work and I look over there, and the old dude is mowing the grass. Keep in mind they have 3 acres, and I would say 2.5 of that is mowable yard. That dude is pushing a push mower, like a 20-inch non-self-propelled piece of junk push mower. And, he's like, "Brrr," and starts it up. "Brrr." And for hours upon hours, he's doing that and got, this like 30-foot section of the yard mowed.
Okay, question though on that. Do you have an HOA? Do they have to mow that?
Mm-mm.
Did they keep mowing it?
Eventually, they bought a riding lawnmower.
Okay. Because I would contend that the American thing of like all of the mowing is just a big pile of BS. Like it is so much of a waste of energy.
Yeah.
Mowing
I thought you
all
were
the
going to say
stuff.
that you would contend that if you had your father-in-law living with you, you'd make him get out there and push mow the yard. I thought that's where you
father-in-law?
were going with that.
Oh, if my father-in-law lived with me, yeah, I'd probably make him.
Yeah.
I'd make him mow the yard just like his daughter and son-in-law make him mow all of their yard.
Mm-hmm.
No, I just so like you haven't even been to my house. You've been to my old house, my house that I'm in right now, one time, right, Jimmy?
Yeah, once or twice.
So in my new house, it's like another 700 feet off the road, and we are not mowing crap. We are like we're gonna mow like one mow path on each side of the driveway. And when we get up to the yard, we're gonna like teardrop it out and like go around the house, and that is it. We are
And then
not
mow a
mowing
shooting lane out into the.
a walking path to each of the targets is what we're gonna mow. Like no way am I mowing. Like no.
You just
Like
need to
the
have
main
enough
reason,
yard to throw the football and baseball around.
yeah. Like there's plenty of space for that in our front yard, and it's gonna be. I don't want to mow more than like. I mean, I'd say if we mow an acre, that's gonna be a lot. I mean, no way. Like go to the ball diamond to throw the baseball around. I don't even.
No, that's what
I don't
the
even
yard's
want.
for.
I don't want to be a part of that.
Huh.
Now, granted,
I thought that's
if I
what your
mowed
living room's
everything,
for.
I'd have to mow 20 acres, but nah. I mean,
No need for that.
this whole thing about everybody mowing, like, dude, do you know how much economic activity goes into mowing? I mean, it's nuts.
Yeah, there's a lot of it.
Bunch of people could be doing something more productive than that, training robots to do something. I don't know.
Yeah, but like
They make robot lawnmowers.
we mow our yard, the entire yard, which is maybe a couple acres worth of yard to
Mhm.
mow. Takes maybe 2 hours a week or to every 10 days.
It's too much. It's too much.
I don't think that's too much.
This year I started mowing our yard late in the season. I pushed it up to 5 acres so that the old yard, because I'm taking 5 acres with the old house and selling it, and then keeping, the other acreage with my new house.
Dude, you have 2 teenage sons. Why do you mow at all?
Well, in this case, I mowed it because I seemed to be the only person who could mow even with a zero turn and keep from like bogging the crap out of the mower, because we took it from like a hay field like your guy did, and over the course of like a few weeks we turned it into a yard, and the other thing is, like, I don't know if you noticed this, but like when you have a lot of grass, you keep looking out at it and you keep going, it doesn't need to be mowed yet, it doesn't need to be mowed yet. And then when you go to mow it, you're mowing like 6 inches of grass,
Yeah.
you know? And so I was typically the person who was like, no, it needs to be mowed. And they were like, no, I don't think it needs to be mowed yet. And I'm like, dude, it needs to be mowed. And I'd go out and get on it, and I was mowing a hayfield again every time. I
I
mean,
don't mow my yard. Elliot does.
yeah. I'm not
And
a fan of mowing.
it's good for him. Yeah, he gets out there and it gives him something to do. I pay him a little bit of money. He feels like he's, out there
I
working.
I am gonna mow the paths to all of my targets. I'm gonna get my target set up good off of our deck, and I'm gonna definitely mow paths, walking paths to the targets, and mow a little bit behind the targets, so when you miss, you can
For when I come over.
hmm Or when Ben comes over.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
agree
know.
with you for the most part about mowing. Like it needs to be minimal, but I like my yard to look nice.
I think a nice field looks nice too.
For sure. If you had a field, like I don't have a field, but
Yeah, I think that there's right around 5 acres of field in front of my house, between my house and the road.
yeah.
I ain't mowing that.
Heck
Ain't
no.
no way I'm mowing that.
You let somebody
Yeah.
bail it?
Nah, we don't do anything. Here's the thing with baling. It looks good when you bale it, but when somebody bales your field, they are taking the nutrients off of your ground and hauling them somewhere else.
Yeah.
So every time you let somebody bale your field so that it looks nice for 1 month out of the year, they are hauling off the almost equivalent amount of nutrient off of your field. So if they could sell the bales for $50 a bale, they're getting paid $50 a bale to haul your soil away. So I'm not about it. Like, might as
You
well
got to
build the
feed it
soil.
back into your cattle.
Yeah, I need to get cows once I am back in it, and grief, cows are freaking expensive these days.
Hmm.
Got to get a cow or two.
You not mow like your field. You don't ever knock it down. You don't do anything with it. You just let it do whatever it wants to do.
One time a year I brush hog it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Just brush hog it back in. And when I get moved, I think I'll probably get rid of the brush hog and get a what are they
Flail.
called? Flail. I'll probably get a flail because the flail mulches it up a heck of a lot better than the brush hog does.
Allow it to break down and go back into the soil quicker.
Way quicker. Yeah. Yeah, it chunks it up a lot better on a flail. And I mean, granted, it mows it down pretty low, but like if you think of, like, you might use a flail right at the beginning of the season and mulch all the winter grime in, and then at the end of the season you could theoretically flail it again, but like, I don't know. Yeah, I think once a year with the flail is probably sufficient for what I'm doing.
Yep. You're probably right.
I just opened your Woodford Reserve, Darcy.
Oh, yeah.
That's a lot better than the
Yeah. Then
vanilla,
the most wanted vanilla.
The vanilla bean extract.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Speaking of vanilla, I make vanilla lattes for Anna, and she likes vanilla. This certain vanilla syrup that Seva, I think, is the brand. You ever heard of it?
Mm-mm.
It's local here in Kearney. The makers of it are here in Kearney, but it's from the vanilla beans are from Madagascar.
Madagascar.
And these dudes were missionaries over there, and they I don't know why, but they decided they weren't going to be missionaries over there anymore. But they loved the people and they loved, all the things over there. And they were
Because
like,
the vanilla trade was so much better than being missionaries.
yeah, probably. But he said he didn't know anything about the vanilla, and he was just asking his people over there. He was just like, what would be helpful for me to do? And they said, you could buy our vanilla from us, our vanilla beans. And he was like, oh, I don't know anything about that. Anyway, he figured it out and he started making this vanilla syrup. And now he's got a pretty good sized company going right here in Kearney and sells to like a bunch of coffee shops. Like most of the coffee shops in Kansas City buy their vanilla. Boulevard, the brewery, buys vanilla from them. I don't know what they put it in, but he named off a few other companies here in Kansas City and nationwide that buy their vanilla. And I went over there just a couple days ago and picked up a bottle and was chatting with the guy. Super friendly dude. Cool little store. Like they don't have like a storefront. They just have a warehouse, but they have a little space where you can walk in and buy whatever products they have.
Really?
Yeah. And they have a whole.
What other products do they have?
Syrups, like different flavored syrups. They started with vanilla and then they started branching out and they have all kinds of stuff. Then they introduce new ones every once in a while. But you can go to their website and check out their products. Seva.
I'm looking at it right now. Seva Trading Co.
Yep. It's you know where the Win Nelson supply is in Kearney?
Yes.
No,
it's
I don't.
Across the street from there.
It's right across the street from what's across the street from it.
Definitely across the street from whatever's across the street from it.
And so they make this stuff there?
They make it in-house right there in that building. They have a kitchen that they make it, bottle it, and ship it all right there. Huh. And if Kinsley and I went in there to get this stuff, and he offered us jobs while we were there.
Okay.
He said they need some help, and they're part-time. I think he said Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday, or Monday and Thursday. I don't know. Only two or 3 days a week is all they work in production. But they're needing some help, bottling and labeling and boxing and all that stuff. And I said, well, I'm not looking for a job, but my daughter might be.
Might be.
So I'm trying to talk her into going back over there and talking to Guy about getting a job 2 days a week.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
It'd also just be nifty to have a job that's not like McDonald's or Sonic.
Yeah.
Like, would she be able to be learning making vanilla syrup?
Yeah, he acted like it was just kind of like a do everything job.
Do everything job? That's kind of
cool.
He
said they currently have 6 employees.
So they presumably they get the vanilla beans. They have to soak them in some kind of like an alcohol base.
Yeah, I don't know.
Extract and then mix it with a syrup. Make a simple syrup to mix the vanilla bean extract into? Or you don't know? They didn't say that.
I don't know the process of how it works.
I'm gonna have to go over there and chat him up a little bit. See if they'll offer
you a job. Yeah, I find stuff like that super interesting.
Maybe I'll get a part-time job over there and learn the business. Start making my own.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Sweet.
Yeah, it's fun stuff. So it's funny, when I went in there to get this stuff, he's like, so how'd you hear about us? And I said, well, a couple of years ago, we were at Silver Dollar City and you guys had a booth there. He's like, oh yeah. He's like, I remember, he said, Silver Dollar City reached out to us and wanted us to put a booth in there. So we did, but that was the one and only time we did it during their fall festival thing or whatever. And he said, they keep asking us to come back. He's like, but it's like a month long. And he's like, I either have to go down there and get a Airbnb or something, or pay somebody to be down there. And he's like, it's just, you don't make any money at it, and it's a lot of work, and it's not really worth it. I said, well, you got us as a customer from it. He was like,
That's probably, I mean, in the past 3 years, you'd probably spent a couple $100.
right. Well worth that booth down there at Silver Dollar City.
In a month of Airbnb.
Right.
Well, this is a little bit of a random deal, and I've probably showed you guys this before, but I kind of wanted to. I got this at. I just got this print at Silver Dollar City during one of those deals, and it doesn't really like show how cool it is. But have I showed you guys this before?
Mm-mm.
So this is a lady who is from
Baltimore?
Hume Art in Stover, Missouri. Okay.
Okay.
And here's the thing. So I got this because I didn't have $200. But honestly, if I had $200 on me at the moment, because I'm kind of like that's pretty cool. And if I had literally $200 cash, I would have bought the thing, the real thing, at that moment. But I didn't have it, and I was like, and I've always thought I would kind of like to go buy a piece of art from her. But these are wax paintings. She heats this wax up and then paints these paintings in wax. So they are permanently fragile. Right?
So if you probably don't want to just like throw that thing up in the dashboard of your car.
Nah, it just go away.
Or you probably wouldn't want to have it next to a burn barrel in your chicken coop.
But because it's wax, it's almost like three-dimensional a little bit, and the colors are vibrant. And so like these orange, whatever these are, whatever kind of blackbird that is, I can't remember.
Baltimore Orioles.
So
is that what they are? Orioles?
Is that an actual wax thing, or is that a print?
No, this is a print of a wax that would have been like this big.
So and you can buy the real thing for $200 or the print for $10 or whatever.
Yeah, it was like $10 or $15 for the print. And like she didn't really want to sell the print because the print being there like at like in the showroom was like eye-catching.
The actual art?
I'm sorry, the actual one.
Yeah.
So like if you bought the actual one, you didn't get to take it home. You had like it would just get a sold sticker on it, and then you'd come pick it up at.
Does she have a studio in Stover or wherever?
I mean, she did at the time. I haven't looked it up lately.
What's her name?
But like, it's called
Julie
Hume Art, and it's Etsy.com/shop Julie Hume.
She has a website too.
JulieHumeArt.com.
Oh. Can't reach this page.
Bummer. Because
just kidding,
like
she doesn't have a website.
That's too bad. Because I literally ever since seeing it and buying this print, I've been like, man, I really kind of want one of her actual paintings. And so like despite the fact that I didn't buy much from her, I only spent like $20.
Her last Facebook post was 2017.
Wow. It's been a while. I've always like even liked having that print around because it's just a neat, like it was a neat kind of little art deal that she was doing. So those things, they might not be worth it, but they do like pique people's interest, I think.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah, so same thing.
Yeah.
Like you benefited, not him.
Yeah.
Not her.
Really, in a way, I was enriched. She wasn't that much enriched by the like being at Silver Dollar City. But
so it's more of a humanitarian effort.
Is that her?
I can't really see it that well, but yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that's her on her Facebook. It looks like she's
So
standing in
she's-
a booth.
I mean, honestly, she was probably. You think she was 65? She'd be old now. It's kind
Yeah.
of crazy to think. Yeah, she'd be pretty old now.
That was in 2012.
Yeah. I guess that's why she's not posting on Facebook.
Maybe.
Yeah, there's some neat stuff down there sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just a bunch of junk, but I think Silver Dollar City probably tries pretty hard to put good people in there that have unique, fun things.
Yeah.
Man, we have a few print art pieces that are we should get out and put up somewhere. Jimmy wants more art.
I do. I would.
I tried to buy the originals of this back in the day, and the artist would not sell them. She
Really?
liked them too much. And so eventually she finally, after I pestered her a lot, she finally made us prints, and we paid. Essentially, she just was like, well, would you be fine with just like paying for the printing fee? And I was like, yeah, but I'm still interested in the originals. But she wouldn't sell them. But I think they're super cool. They're
What is
these pictures of drawings of retro, like old, like 1950s chairs. Just there's 4 different ones, 4 different chairs that she drew.
I know about this.
Oh,
But it was while she was in college, right?
Yeah.
So they were her college
Yeah.
art pieces for her thesis or whatever.
I don't know if they were that important, but also she was in college. She was in college, and she could have made, a couple $100 from some
Right.
pencil drawings.
Yeah.
They're like colored pencil, I think.
Never did sell them though.
Mm-mm.
It's
Well, she probably
in a
has
closet
now.
somewhere. Yeah.
She
'Cause
probably
somebody
sold
else
them to
offered
somebody
more.
she liked better.
There you go.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to find those things. I'm trying to think where they're at.
You don't have them displayed?
We've never framed them.
What?
Dude,
Yeah.
you asked if we had subjects. I have a subject for you guys, and
Okay.
I don't know how far we can go with the subject, but
Okay.
I'm trying to think how
We
to
just
like
lost
how
one
to
viewer, so
Oh no.
because I started talking.
probably.
I'm trying to think how to spring the subject on you where you're interested, and you guys are doing most of the talking rather than me doing the talking. But I have
Okay.
thoughts on the subject. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm just going to start with: Are you aware? Are you aware
In general,
of of the subject of anything to do with financialization of the world? Do you even know what that means?
I would say
I don't know that I
aware
know
of
what
it.
you're getting at necessarily.
Yeah.
So financialization is, I mean, in like the most layman's low resolution terms, is like the fact that we as a modern society, we make money betting on real things, but in the financial sector, nothing actually has to actually happen in order for that money to be made.
So
That's my take on it. So like let's say you take Tesla, for instance. Tesla stocks trade at, let's look it up. I don't want to say the wrong thing.
4 something, I think.
Tesla price. Tesla stock price is $430.91. If I go, let me see if I can get this to happen. Approximately what is Tesla stock trading at compared to its revenue?
Around $430, and its market value is about $1.49 trillion. Compared to its revenue of roughly $95.6 billion, that's a price to sales ratio of about 15 to 18 times. In other words, investors are paying a high premium, largely betting on Tesla's future growth.
Okay. Tesla stock trades at 15 to 18, and sometimes it's like 50 times their revenue. Which means, in pure terms, if they made exactly the same amount of money every year for 50 years, it would actually be able to pay the stock investors back. But it can't because, 50 years is a long time, right? So people are making money on the shares, and the shares contribute to the quote unquote value. But if you use that value compared to the actual amount of money that the company makes, it's ridiculous to
Doesn't
think
add
that
up.
you would never buy the company, any company, at that price, like ever. Okay. But so here's a crazy number. And so does that make sense? So you've made this whole financialization of people buying shares, and then people betting on the price of shares, and like probably 5 layers deep of betting on Tesla's share price, completely detached from Tesla's profitability. Does that make sense, right? Okay. Because no one would go, hey, I'll buy that company. How much does it make? Well, it makes 0.5% a year. If you bought the whole company right now, you could expect to get 0.5% per year of gain going forward. No one would buy that, but everybody buys Tesla stock. Okay, so silver prices are at an all-time high. Are you guys aware of that?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know what they traded at
$100
today?
ish, right at 114.
114, yeah, I think that might have been about the high. 114 per ounce of silver. So silver isn't a company, silver is a commodity, which just means it's like corn, soybeans, bread, lumber. Silver is a commodity, okay? It also happens to have been at some point money, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's even more crazy when you think about the silver futures, silver contracts, all of the things revolving around silver. If you were to guess, and you were using that Tesla ratio of it's 15 to 18 times the stock price is 15 to 18 times the actual revenue of the company. Silver isn't exactly the same. Or just tell me if we're not tracking what I'm saying. Just say that doesn't make any sense. Silver being a commodity, the question is not how much is silver trading at compared to its yearly value. It's how many contracts for silver are there compared to the amount of silver that exists. So right? Does that make sense more?
Mm-hmm.
So there's like puts and calls on silver. There's futures contracts on silver, and there's probably a bunch of financial instruments on silver that I don't even know what they're called. Okay. But how many times the quantity of silver, not the dollar value, but the quantity of silver, would you guess there are bets, effectively bets on silver's price going up or down? If you were to guess, what do you think would be the crazy maximum amount? And do you know this, Darcy?
I do not, but
Okay.
I'm guessing since you're asking the question,
It's a crazy amount.
It's a big amount, but
It's a big amount.
also I would say no one who doesn't have an interest in silver is generally going to think that it would not be 1-to-1 because it's a commodity, because it's an
Correct.
actual physical representation of value.
Right.
So I'm going to say it's like 300.
What do you got, Jim?
Yeah, I mean, I have no idea. When at the beginning of the
Can you- okay.
conversation, I was going to say 80.
Okay. But you can picture what it would mean
Right.
if it was 300, right?
Yeah.
It would mean that 3 guys like you and me had a contract with someone that said, I will either give you my silver in the future at X price, or you will give me your silver in the future at X price. Right? That's what a contract is. Like, or I will loan you my silver for this much % interest, or for under these circumstances, right? What's your get? You said 80 at the beginning, but we said it's crazy high.
Right.
I'm thinking it's going to be more like 1,700.
I honestly.
Well, you already picked 300.
I honestly.
I know I
Jimmy,
did.
you get
no idea. I can't even throw a guess out there. So I'll just stay with my 80 just because that was my initial number.
okay. You say 80. Darcy says 300, and just to be like, to prolong it, I'm gonna say, what
You're
is
gonna make a
something that
guess?
what is something that you have in your house that is of value? Pick a thing, either of you, and we're just gonna like boil it down to the lowest resolution, number.
Something of value?
Pick a thing
Like
that you have that's of
actual
value. That's
value?
not one of your children or relatives.
Oh.
You have a gun. Somebody has a gun.
Yeah. I have
But
guns.
there's just one of it. You got a Glock. You each have a Glock, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's
Yeah.
say you guys,
First gen Glock number 1. First ever Glock build.
but this is fungible. It's just 99.9% pure Glock. That's all it is. Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't have numismatic value like a coin would, or serial number value, because it's the first one. It's just 99.9% pure Glock.
Right.
And you each have one. Yeah. There are 350 people out there who have
Dang, I was
claims.
close.
You are close. Who have claims to your Glock that can only be settled in your Glock. So that means that there are 700 people and there are 2 Glocks. And those people have all promised someone else that they will either buy or sell your Glock on a date in the future. And that if the other counterparty to their claim says, I need the Glock today, on whatever that day is, that they will do whatever it takes to go get your Glock and provide the other person with your Glock. And what would you say about the stupidity and insanity of financial markets if it was your item that you have in your house under your pillow or whatever?
Yeah, but what if they don't know I have it?
They don't know you have it. They don't know where it is. They don't care where it is.
Well, I mean, that gives me the power, because all of a sudden my Glock that you could buy for $400 yesterday is now
It's worth whatever
it's
person.
worth $5,000
It's not worth, it's infinite.
because
it's infinite, Darcy, because
it's whatever I
nobody
say.
can come up with the Glock. Nobody can come up with an item that they don't have. Nobody.
And that's why
It's,
you got silver in your safe,
well, the thing is,
because they're going to
so
come to
here's,
you.
they're going to come to whoever. So what happens is, here's what actually happens. All of those
Is it just
banks and
keeps
all of
getting put
those,
off?
it gets put off. But when you put it off, what you have to do is you say, well, I can't provide you with Jimmy or Darcy's Glock today, but we'll up the price and I'll provide it with for you tomorrow. And the person says,
Mhm.
no, you'll up the price even higher and you'll provide it with me in 12 hours. And they go, okay, we'll do it in 12 hours at your price. And they just keep ratcheting that price up. And when, like just that one item could, if, and the question isn't, can you provide, can you circulate the silver? Can you create a velocity of silver trade fast enough to cover all of those counterparty claims? The question is, if you decide I'm not going to, what does it do to the entire system? Does that make sense? Like,
I mean,
it's never, they're not going to get the silver. They can't.
it's so essentially what it has turned into is a game.
It is all game. Yes.
It's all theory and it's
Right.
all a game. And it's just like gaming this silly, weird system in
That
order
we created.
to create the illusion of value.
Correct. And the price of silver, you would think, okay, you would think that if silver, just using silver is just one example of a real world good, okay? You would think that if anybody in the whole silver trade looked at how many contracts there are on silver, would say silver should be much higher. Like, you should be jacking the price of silver to weed out all of this bullshit silver trade that's not really happening. But it doesn't, because the market for silver is so big. It's 350 times the amount of silver that exists. It's
But
just betting on dog
but
races is all it is.
but also the demand for silver is not high.
Well, so that's one of the problems that's happening right now. So silver was like $20 an ounce, $15 an ounce, $10, 25, 30, 10, like over however many years. And everybody just like, yeah, silver is a very small, like, you need it in a lot of things, but you need a very small amount of it in a lot of things. And so, like, it just gets used. They mine it, they use it, they mine it, they use it, right? At certain prices, it's not worth it to mine it, or at least it's not worth it for the mine to sell it. And at other prices, it's worth it for the mine to go out into the market and sell it. But at this point, there's more demand for physical silver than there is
And there is silver.
silver coming out of the mines. And there's more trading going on that demand in the paper world than there is actual silver. And so you could potentially, if everybody figured it out, which everybody's not going to figure it out, you should see silver go up thousands to thousands of dollars an ounce. But here's a crazy component of it. Like, you ever been into a coin shop? You ever go to a pawn shop or coin shop or something like that? And they just buy silver on the spot price, right? They're just like, they look it up and they're like, yeah, you have silver coins, they're worth this much. And they just buy it. And you know what they do? They turn around and they take it to a refiner and they sell it immediately for the price, for spot price, and they give you 5% less or something like that. No big deal. They make a couple bucks being the middleman. the refiners are seeing these prices go crazy, and they're going, hey, we're not buying silver from you the day you bring it to us. What we'll do is you bring us silver or gold or whatever, and the day that we get it refined to its final like bullion, that's the day that we'll tell you how much we're paying you. So all these little mom and pop shops are like, oh, wait a minute. We can't buy Jimmy's, Walking Eagles or Walking Liberties for spot price because we don't know what the price will be when we recover our money. And so the price going up is actually causing the market to shut down on silver. And so all these guys who are like running around like, oh, I'm collecting all this silver, I'm going to make all this money. They're finding that they, in a pinch, in a calamity, they would not be able to sell their silver for the quote unquote value that it is on the market because
unless it's refined
all the way, like if it's fully refined. And so like all the guys that are running around to banks and buying quarters and sifting through them and looking for that 40% or 60% or 80% silver, they're not, those are the coins that nobody's going to want because what are you going to do with it?
Mm-hmm.
And that shop, if they figure their volume is usually like we sell 50 ounces of silver a day, they might buy 50 ounces of silver today thinking we'll sell 50 ounces tomorrow, but they're not going to buy a whole, not going to buy $20,000 from you anymore,
Boy, one time, a long time ago, I used to do jobs for a builder on the side, and he sent me over to this house, and he's like, "Hey, go over here. These people are gonna finish their basement, and so they have gone through all this stuff, and they've made a pile, and you're gonna just haul stuff to the dumpster. They'll tell you what to throw away, and you just take it to the dumpster." So I haul all sorts of crap to the dumpster. And one of the things I happened to like look in this box, and I think it had maybe some like stamps or something in there. And I'm interested in stamps. I'm not a collector necessarily. I have a few different ones, but it caught my eye enough. And then I set that box to the side and I threw it in my truck.
Took it to the dumpster first and then threw it in your truck.
What? Yeah.
You took it out to the dumpster like they asked, and then you're like, it might.
Correct. Threw it in my truck. So I take it home and I go through it, and there is a whole bunch of silver, like ink, like 99.9 silver coins in there. And I'm like, whoa, this is really cool. Obviously, also, this is 20 years ago when silver price was like 10,
$5 or $6,
$12. Yeah. So it's not like I just found a whole bunch of money, but I did find something real neat. And it had been made very clear they're just throwing junk away. They don't care. It's been sitting down there. Some of it's been like, they moved it there from the dad's house or whatever. It's all going in the trash. And I'm like, this is crazy. This is silver coins. And like that evening, the builder called me. He's like, any chance you found a bunch of silver coins when you were throwing stuff in the dumpster? And I was like, as a matter of fact, I did. He's like, I'm gonna need you to bring those back.
Oh no!
Because here's the thing, she
What?
had been very clear, throw it away. And whenever her
Right.
husband got home, he was like, wait, you threw that away? And she was like, yeah, we're getting rid of stuff. And so the wife was like, gone. The husband's like, no. So,
But your answer is I threw everything away that they asked me to throw away. But they had probably been through the dumpster and found that it was gone.
maybe. Yeah.
So you took them back.
Oh, yeah.
How
Yeah.
many coins did you like? We talking like 20, 50,
Oh, somewhere in there. Yeah.
20 or 50?
30, maybe.
They give you anything as a finder's fee?
Heck no. No.
Oh, that sucks.
No, because so the funny thing is, I think that he never intended it for it to be thrown away. And she was just like, this stuff's just junk. I hate all this stuff laying around. He was a doctor. She may have been a doctor too. Like, I think she's like, who cares if it's worth a little bit of money? It's just stupid.
Mhm.
And he was like, no, those are my things.
Yeah.
Well, I ran the numbers, and honestly, the last time I was thinking about buying silver was pre like real internet era, like in the era whenever I was thinking about buying silver. You remember how the internet was in like 2000? What would it have been? Like 2005, 2006. Like there was an internet, but
Yeah.
like when you found somebody who was talking about something, you couldn't really find other people talking about the same thing.
Right.
You couldn't really verify sources and stuff. And so like you'd read something and it seemed very plausible, right? And you're like, okay,
Yeah.
this seems pretty plausible. And you'd look at like different things. And so I was like really getting into silver exchange type stuff. And I literally went to a guy and was like, who traded silver all the time, and was like, what do you think about this? And he pulls out a book where he has handwritten the price of silver every day for like 40 years.
Dang.
Junior.
Junior. And he goes, here's what I'll tell you about silver. He goes, I've lived through multiple silver spikes. One of them I think was over 50 an ounce, and it came back down. He's like, I will buy silver from anybody on the spot price for the day minus like a percentage, and I will sell it to anyone at the spot price. Like I don't keep it as a store of value or anything like that. It's just another commodity to me.
Yeah.
And he's like, I wouldn't put very much money in silver. I don't have any problem with having it, but I wouldn't put much into it. And I think I had 10 grand, and I thought, man, I should put like 5 grand of this into silver. And if silver was 5,000 and it was 12 an ounce, I would have 416 ounces theoretically, if you could find
Right.
416 without too much effort, which I don't know how you would do that, you know.
Right.
So
Well,
if it was times $114 an ounce, I'd have $47,500 worth of silver
For that
sitting in my safe
$5,000 investment.
for a $5,000 investment. The problem is that I then wouldn't have had the money to buy my first rehab house.
Yeah.
And if I didn't have the money to buy my first rehab house, then I wouldn't have bought it. And if I didn't buy it, effectively, I would have continued working for other people for the last 15 years. And that has worked out. Being in real estate and adding value to houses has worked out swimmingly for me that whole time. And if I had spent that 5,000 in silver, and I had spent another 5,000 over the course of the last 15 years, or 10,000 or 15,000, it would be a fraction of what I've made by actually going and doing stuff with that money.
Right.
Like a fraction.
I would say that the only time that I have ever considered buying silver is sometimes I come across maybe like an Instagram or something where people are making these like interesting looking little
Mm.
2-3 ounce silver ingots. And I
Mhm.
have generally thought it would be fun to have a silver bar, like
Yeah.
the little 3 ounce bar. And
Mhm.
that's the only time I've ever thought about it. Is just because I think they're interesting.
Have you watched the guy who like he takes the industrial chemical waste from like some other process and he buys the liquid chemical and he somehow like extracts the silver from the
Oh,
chemical? You
uh-uh,
know what I'm talking about? And
uh-uh.
like he shows the whole process of refining this solution back into bars and then he stamps it with his own bar. I think it's on TikTok or something.
Okay.
Like he
That's
stamps it
cool.
with his own label and you're
Uh-huh.
like, "Oh, I want that bar from that chemist who knows how to do that." Like I want it so bad.
Uh, if I ever came across like a bunch of silver stuff, I think it would be fun to smelt it down and pour it myself.
Yeah.
Do
I
you know how to
I hope to
refine
do
it
that at
back
some
to
point.
99.9 though? Like I don't think that that is very
No,
easy. Like
no,
you
I
would
think
still
it.
have a composite bar, right?
I don't know how many processes there are to doing that. I know you can. I've watched a video or two that kind of like overview the process, and
Yeah,
so it seems like there's you could, but
yeah,
it's not free. You
right.
know, you have to obviously you have to supply the heat, and then I'm pretty sure there's some chemical
Right.
aspects
Because
of
you have to separate the
getting
aluminum and
it.
the copper
Yeah.
from the silver. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I know we've talked about this before over the last couple of years, but I would think it would be cool to melt down like aluminum and smelt down copper into bars just to do it.
Bronze.
Yeah, for just kicks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um, but like I mean the other day I took that radiator from the old wood boiler at the property and I took that radiator and an old furnace which is all just steel. It's not even they don't even count any of the component metals. It's just steel weight is all they give you. It was freaking $95 of
Really?
of scrap price for
Hmm.
one radiator that was probably like it's probably like this big and that thick. So it was copper and aluminum radiator and then a broke down furnace. And it was
Hmm.
$95. And I was like,
When you say
whoa.
radiator, you're talking about out of the car?
Now, so when you have a wood burning boiler, you have circulating lines that circulate water from the boiler outside to the it's like an A coil, but it looks more like a radiator
Hmm.
inside. And then the air in your ductwork blows through this. It's not an A coil because it's not shaped like that,
Right.
right? It's a radiator that sits on top of the A coil where the air goes through the A coil and then through the boiler radiator
Hmm.
and then through the house. And so it's just like the A coil. It works in the same way, but it just had water with like some kind of solution in it going
Right.
through it. So it's copper pipe with aluminum flanges all over it. And that thing, I don't know how much it weighed. I don't have the ticket anymore, but it was like, when she gave me $95, I was like, whoa. I,
Hmm.
I was like this close to dropping it off at the junkyard and being like,
Right.
hey guys, I'm not paying you for this, but I'll give it to you. And then I was like glad that I took it up there because like
Where'd you take
I was
it?
driving by there. City Scrap in Lee Summit.
Hmm.
It was I'm used to copper being $3 a pound probably. And copper scrap price today is $4.90
Hmm.
on premium grade, Bear Bright premium grade.
I don't have much copper sitting out there, but I do have a big old scrap pile going right now. There's a little bit of copper, some aluminum, a lot of steel.
Steel is still pretty low. Steel is like
Probably.
$100 a ton or something, $10 a ton, whatever it is.
I'm probably gonna just give it away because,
Yeah, it's
and
so much effort.
I always feel good like throwing if I come across a bunch of aluminum, I throw that in there and it makes me feel better about having somebody come pick it up.
Right.
Like,
You feel like you're giving them something.
they'll at least make a little bit of money.
So steel is 8 to 10 cents a pound, which is $170 a ton, which is better than it's been. Like
Mhm.
it had been like 100 a ton, so 5 cents a pound for a long time.
Dude, last year whenever I was giving stuff to Ben and he was coming and hauling it. Well, first of all, when you told me that your cousin hauled scrap, I was like, oh, okay. Maybe he wants to come over here and load all this crap up and take it down and get it. Nope. He has an S10 and he's just going to come get a few things at a time and drive it down to North Kansas City and make $32 a load.
And spend $22
And I was
on
like,
gas.
oh, you're not
So
obligated to do this, Ben. Oh, no,
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 he
no. I
wanted to do it.
appreciate it. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Like,
No, so here's the one
okay.
thing I'll say. There are some people, and Ben is one of them, that as much as you look at the things they do and you think that can't, like that makes no sense. Like you think it doesn't make any sense from your perspective or my perspective. Because we work in this industry where we have to move heavy things all the time. And like to me, moving heavy things for little to no money is not worth it because I'm doing, you know what I mean? Like Ben is, and there's a lot of guys out there that are like, they have some other primary form of income. And so for them to spend a little bit of time on a Saturday going and making $35 is like, oh, $35 cash that I don't have to pay taxes on or something.
Garage
And
sale money.
Like in a way, I appreciate the effort that you're willing to put into it. But for me, I'm like, dang, that's
Yes.
like
I felt bad. I felt bad for asking him when that was how he was doing it.
He wanted to do it. And I bet you,
I
like,
know, and I
depending on
made
where he
sure
was
that
at, I bet he turned around and took that cash and bought like silver or something with it. Because he's that kind of, you know what I mean? Like he probably made 3 times more money than you think he made because
maybe
he also turns around and buys silver ingot, you know?
I think what he bought though, he called me. He's like, oh, I stopped at a garage sale after I left your place, and I bought these cool old lighters. was like, oh,
Yeah.
that's pretty neat. Look, 3 of them don't work, but 1 of them does.
There you
So
go.
I think different people aspire to different things. My dad aspired to fix things up. And I
Mhm,
like fixing something that somebody else didn't think was worth fixing.
for
I do
sure.
like that. But what I aspire to, what I like in my soul, what the guy I want to be later on is the guy who only has the things that he needs and they're all in tip top, like they're brand new and tip top condition.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know how
Not
I get
me.
there from
That
here.
is, there's no aspirations of that. I'm a realist, Dan.
But don't you ever think like, dude, if I just had a matching set of tools in my toolbox, wouldn't that be neat? You ever think that? You know what I mean?
No.
Yeah.
Never,
I
it
think,
never
man, I
crosses
sure
your
wish I
mind.
had all those tools that got stolen.
Right. But don't you ever think like it would be kind of neat to just have a matching set of tools?
I've
No?
never thought that.
Oh man. I have
I don't know
thought
why. I
I've
can
thought
see where I can see the draw. I can,
right?
but I've never. I mean, my buddy was a sold out Snap-on guy for a while.
Nah, I
Like
don't care about that. I don't care
back
about
when
the
we were
name on it.
young,
Yeah.
and he had a super nice setup. But I don't know. I never saw that and thought, oh, I want that.
Okay. My reason for it is practical though.
Okay.
I can freaking never find the tool that I want. Like ever. And if I had
Why?
I need 2
Why,
things.
Dan? Why?
Well, one is because I'm not very organized. And 2 is because I don't have a man. And 3 is because I might have never had the tool that I need in the first place. Those are the 3 causes that I
Okay.
have seen. I never had the tool in the
I
first
needed
place.
to know that before we go into the. All right, continue.
And I don't have a man. If I had a man and I had the tools that I need, and what was the third one I said?
You may have never even had it to begin with.
Yeah, if I never had it in the
Not very
first place.
organized.
I'm not very organized.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
The man, he would take care of being organized. Because I'd just be like, hey, I don't have anything for you today. Organize. Like, don't let me catch you not organizing today.
You could be that
right?
man. You don't have anything to
No.
do.
I don't ever not have anything to do.
Uh-huh.
I always have plenty of stuff to do.
Well,
It's
then you'd
going to
have
be
plenty
my
of stuff for your
Optimus.
man to do.
It's going to be my Optimus robot. That's who's going to be my man.
There you go.
I'm just going to be like, keep this freaking garage organized. Okay? And he's going to be like, impossible. Impossible.
Yeah.
Cannot
My
find
luck-
10 millimeter.
No 10 millimeter. Okay, go ahead. Chide me. Rebuke me, Darcy. I'm ready.
Wait,
Because it's not
but
right
you
to
didn't go
want
into.
something like that.
Oh,
Wait,
it's not.
what?
I'm
I
just
have-
saying. Okay, let's say
Okay.
that tomorrow,
Okay.
because I hit the lottery today, and I just won. What do you win when you win the lottery? What's like the big
$1 billion.
$1 billion?
$10
I just won $10 million.
$10 million.
And that's
Let's go with 10 million.
plenty. That's plenty enough to pay off my house, build myself a shop,
Mhm.
and bring you a matching set of tools in a really nice toolbox.
Yeah.
How long is it going to not be? How long is it going to stay like that?
I I don't want to overpromise and underdeliver, here,
Okay.
but if you did that, the first thing that I would do is I would get rid of all of my mismatched sockets. I would get rid of everything except for that one little DeWalt kit that I carry around. That
That's
like
a
has
great
like
kit.
it is a great kit. It has like 30 pieces. It's easy to keep a hold of, easy to keep track of. I have kept that thing like continent. I've kept that thing solid for 4 years because you look at it and you're like, I need all the pieces to be back in this before we move on,
Yeah.
guys. We're gonna keep
But
looking
what
for
if
that
you have?
socket.
But what if it's all sitting in a toolbox in a shop, but then you use it and you leave the ratchet with the 5/8 over by the vehicle that you're working on, and then you, I don't know, man. I think it takes more than just having all of the parts.
So I have another theory on this that has to do with
Okay.
my type of line of work. Okay. I think that it would be easier to keep things together if you only worked in one location. I think that
True.
there's no comparison between being a person who takes the tools they need for a job, goes to a location and does a job, and then comes back. Like that travel and that loading, that always misplaces things. It always
Yeah.
it's always chaos in that interim time. And so then when you get back, you're like, I've just loaded up early in the morning. I've done a job all day. I get back and I either don't get it unloaded or I get it unloaded, but that's all I get to. Like I feel like that is like where chaos like ensues, right?
Yep.
Sure.
So
Oh yeah.
if you're going to be the guy that has to travel, the best I've ever done is having a trailer that had all of those tools in it all the time, and I took 5 times more tools to a job than I needed because I had a trailer full of all those tools.
Right.
But that trailer isn't really it's not as well organized as it could be. It gets messy, it gets chaotic. But like when I've been running out of a truck, I've been running out of a truck for the last year because I've been leaving my trailer at the house that I've been building. Dude, oh my gosh, it is such chaos right now. Like it's bad. As soon as I get freaking garage doors on my barn,
Oh yeah, you have to give us an update on that.
I have talked to him 3 times in the last week, and every time it's like, oh, it's this problem, it's that problem. Every time it's like coming in a day or two. Every time. But as soon as I get a garage door, I'm going to back my trailer into the shop and start retooling my trailer again to be the go out, the go-to for taking it to jobs.
Yep.
Because working out of the back of a truck sucks. Unloading toolboxes, the whole thing. Like just
Yeah, especially compared to a.
I'm not trying to make excuses. I'm saying like combine my own propensity to disorganization with less than ideal circumstances, and it's just chaos. That's what I'm saying.
Yep.
I don't know. Did I answer the question?
Yeah, I
that
think
a toolkit that you leave at a shop can be kept much easier than a toolkit that also doubles as the traveling circus that is being a carpenter that does work for other people.
so. Here's what I think I would have to do in order to maintain my tools. I would have, so let's say I get my shop floor poured down there and I start turning that building into an actual shop.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to have a toolbox that has the whole kit, like it's fully outfitted. but I am not getting rid of all my other stuff. I'm going to have another toolbox or a few toolboxes that are outfitted with the main things that I grab and take with me somewhere. And so my main shop tools don't leave the shop, except for in very rare occasions where it's like a specialized tool that there's no sense in having two of them.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to,
I mean,
but I got to have like multiples of plenty of things so that my shop stays outfitted. And I mean, I'm generally working at 3 different places and I'm consistently at all of them. So what I end up doing is leaving tools at certain places. And then if I'm
that
here
being
on the
said, dude, I'm not going to lie. The last time you showed up to help me work on a car, I wasn't disappointed in your dedication or your know-how or anything like that, but I was disappointed in the tool array that you brought. It was pretty sparse.
That's because
And
I
like,
got all my stuff
like
stolen. I
that was at
still
least
haven't
half the
built
reason
back
you were
up.
coming.
Huh?
It was just a
How
soft
long are you
case
gonna
with some
ride on
random
that
stuff
truck
like
getting stolen?
Snickers bars and stuff. What? How long? What?
How long are you gonna use the excuse of the stolen vehicle?
Man, dude, it's probably been a little bit, but I still come across things that I'll search for and then I'll be like, I don't have that anymore.
Dude,
There's still things that I don't know that are gone. Cause it's
I,
those little tools that I've been buying and working tools and working on vehicles for 25 years. And so I had a
so
decent amount of this and that. And that's what I had just done right before my truck got stolen. I had loaded up a bunch of my tools and I'd gone over to my parents' house and I worked on my mom's car for the weekend. So I had all the stuff that I wanted to have for working on a vehicle loaded up in my truck. So for a while still, to answer your question.
How long has it been?
I had this idea.
It was stolen in 22. July.
I think that I floated it to you at
4
some
years.
point, Darcy.
3.5 years.
And you told me why this idea wouldn't work. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I don't remember why you said it wouldn't work, but this was my idea. And this was like my idea for like a guy. Okay. So here's the idea. And you can tell me again why it doesn't work. Okay. Cause this has been a while since so you have like basic set, like you can get a basic set of tools that gets you like a lot of what you need in like 300 pieces. Would you concur with that? Like there's a lot of pieces in those 300 piece sets that are kind of superfluous, but like
Yes,
you could have 300 pieces that would get you like 80% of the way to most tasks, right?
probably.
So like my idea is like you have a tiered system where you're like, this is the starter kit. It's kit A is the essentials. It's like 50, it's like here's the 50% of things that you need. And then you go up from there and you're like, it's layered. They're not separate. You don't resell somebody anything. And you have this toolkit that's like, if you go to Z, you have like every conceivable item except for like completely specialty, like Ford, bearing pullers specifically or something like that. Okay. And then each item in the set has a spot that you click it into. Positive placement, click it into that spot. Now, here's the beauty of it. Your company is called, oh wait, I forgot it already. I don't know. I don't remember what it's called. It had a good name. Each of those spots where the positive placement is has a sensor.
Mm-hmm.
And if an item spins too long out of its place, it alerts the owner on the app, hey, your 10 millimeter has been out of its spot for 2 weeks. In 24 hours, I'm going to have one shipped to you if you don't say not to.
Ah,
Okay.
like it.
And you have both a tool sales company and a tool replacement company built into a single app that is interfaced with the toolboxes. So like if you don't have something, you can even set it to like priority ship. If an item is out of place for 48 hours, ship it. And so then when you're sitting there working on your thing and you're like, freaking 13 millimeter socket is gone. When was the last time I worked on a car? Oh yeah, it was 2 weeks ago. I'm going to go to my pile of items that got shipped to me and I will have a new one right there.
You might have two because it's been sitting there that long.
You might have two because literally. No, it won't ship you a second one until you have placed the socket in that spot.
Okay.
Right?
Because it knows that it
Now-
sent it to your house.
And here's the second layer of it. It knows if you just stuck some random 1/4 inch drive socket in the wrong spot.
Yes.
It knows you just put something in the spot. And it's like,
Wait,
hey, the app says, hey, your 13 millimeter is in the 12 millimeter socket
let's
on the
take it.
organizer.
Let's step it up one more step. What if instead of
I mean, that would be something I would actually need.
Yeah.
what
Okay,
if
one more step up?
yeah, one more step up. What if the ultimate, the like the top tier?
We're giving this business idea away for free on YouTube and nobody's even
Yeah,
watching.
2 people are.
Got 2 people
Okay.
watching.
What if the top? Yeah, probably me and Dan.
I'm not watching. I'm not. I'm out. I'm just here.
Okay, me and Trevor. Trevor's already working on the business plan for this.
Dude, he's probably working on the app right now.
He's sorting
Okay,
out
here's
how
the
to figure out how it all works.
here's the top tier right here, right now. You sell a 3D printer that prints metal and that will just print the new tool for you.
That is the future. Honestly, that actually is the future. That's a real thing. Yeah.
A 3D printer that prints forged wrenches.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, it's surprisingly closer than you think. It's crazy to say that out loud, but it's closer than you think. Because a forged piece of metal, the only thing that happens in the process of forging metal is the ions in the metal get organized in a different way than when it's cast. Right?
Yeah.
Like the actual molecules are arranged differently when it's hardened than when it's annealed. And once you figure out how to print those items in that configuration, all you probably require is a 3D printer that also prints in a vacuum so that there's no oxidization on the surfaces so that those layers can completely anneal, completely bond to each other. Like, did you know this? In space, theoretically, if you took two metallic items and you buffed them in space so that there was no oxidization on the surface, and then you placed them together, the two pieces of metal would not know not to bond to each other. And they would just bond to each other. Like, you can just weld things in space by placing two identical metallic objects together. They weld together.
Weird. I don't know anything about any of that.
Crazy. You don't know? You didn't know that?
I did not know that.
For real?
No.
Yeah. Things will
I've
weld
never
themselves
been to
together
space
in
to
space.
check that stuff out.
If there's no oxidization on the surfaces, metals will weld themselves together. It's obviously in theory, but like, it really does happen. They have to actually coat the metals that, like the wrenches and stuff they work on in space, so that they don't. Are you looking it up, Darcy?
Yeah.
Let's hear it. Let's hear what
Let's
the
hear it.
actual that was the low resolution version of the truth, but what's the real truth?
Let's see here.
We need to get Elon over here, and he would be able to answer that kind of stuff for us.
Elon or Ilhan?
Elon on our podcast.
Let's see. It'd take me a little bit to like figure out the right way to search that.
What's AI say about it?
Okay. What can you tell me about the phenomenon of like metals welding themselves together in a vacuum, like in the vacuum of space?
So this is known as cold welding, and it's kind of fascinating. In a vacuum, like in space, there's no air or moisture to create a thin oxidation layer on metal surfaces. When two clean like metals are pressed together in that environment, they can actually bond at the atomic level. Essentially, the atoms don't know they're from different pieces, so they join. In normal Earth conditions, that oxide layer usually prevents this, but in space, no barrier. It's not as dramatic as everything just sticking together randomly, but it's a known engineering challenge in space.
Weird.
Did I describe that correctly?
I think so.
You used some of those exact terms, actually.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, that's
cold welding.
Cold welding.
Huh.
So like when you weld, you have to spray shielding gas to create an environment where the weld can weld together. We already knew that, right? So you either have flux core, where flux core welding, you're welding with a wire that has a core in it that creates a gas, and that gas shields the metal from the oxidization and the moisture of your environment, right? So like if you don't have gas to weld, the metal will pop and everything, but it won't weld together unless you have an oxygen-free environment. So in space, in cold welding situations, it just happens. It can happen, and it's due to the fact that like the metals basically, like, I mean, he just described it better than I can. They don't know they're not part of the same thing, and so the point is, back to the original subject, it's not like sci-fi to say like you will have a 3D printer that can weld the kind of metal together that you want welded together. It's just a matter of
if they can two pieces can become one, can one piece become two just as easy?
Describe what you're talking about.
I don't know.
Like that just sounds like words to me.
If the particles don't know that they're not supposed to be together, how do they know they're supposed to be together?
Oh.
They share electrons. The electrons bond So no, it
Even in the vacuum
once it would be
space?
together. If it's clean enough, it has to be perfectly clean, and then it's molecular.
Hmm.
So it would be like uh, uh it will only add because the bond is drawing. So what I
It's
say,
like
the
magnetism, but it's
electrons
not magnetism.
Yeah. Hmm.
start just like essentially it's like melting, except nothing's moving except for the very, very tiniest bit
Right.
between them.
Hmm. So weird.
It looks like
But
it has to be the perfect condition.
Yeah.
for cold welding,
Yes.
yeah.
It's going to have to be perfectly smooth because the electrons aren't going to jump a gap. And then it also has to be perfectly clean with, like Dan said, no oxidization.
And I wonder if does it require
On
pressure or is it just
or in the metal.
touching each other?
It requires some pressure, but
Some.
doesn't seem like it's like a massive amount of pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah, there can be like imagine that they go together and like my hands are like to your view they're touching, but like I can tell that they're not touching versus like I can tell that they are touch,
Yeah.
and there can't be any debris and there can't be any atmosphere at all between them. So like the level, the amount of flatness that has to be milled into it is extreme.
Right. That's pretty cool.
Flatness?
Never heard of that before today, till you just told me that, Dan.
Really? Not till I just told you. You guys learned something new, and our
Yeah.
Never knew
listener
that until
learned
you just told me
something
that.
too. Maybe, maybe. So like that being the case, like you can imagine an environment where, like you have an item that we manufacture now that is made up of 10 or 12 different components. Like I don't know, I'm trying to pick something like it's made up of a variety of different components, like this guitar pick punch that I have. Which didn't you get me this, Darcy? Is it
Yeah. Yeah.
And I really like it, but I have run out of materials to make punches out of. I'm like, what do I make a guitar pick out of now? Occasionally I get a carton from something and I'm like, oh, that'd make a good guitar pick.
Elliot wants to
so like
use hotel key cards.
Yeah.
that would actually probably work real good, actually. Except I have a hard time keeping I don't have very good fingerprints. Like I don't have very like dramatic fingerprints. And slick picks, I lose them real easy. I need something with a little bit of like something on it.
Mm-hmm.
But like there will come a time when you look at this thing and you and I go, well, somebody had to manufacture this plastic part and somebody had to manufacture the punch part and the pins and the different metals. And there will be a 3D printer that just builds this thing bottom up. And it will be just as strong as this item is.
Yeah,
And
that's
it will
wild.
be effectively indistinguishable if you wanted it to be, but probably the computer will say this isn't the best way to make it, and it will make it in a better way than this, most likely.
Or it'll
then
say,
we'll all
why
be out
don't
of
you
jobs.
just throw the material in here and I'll cut you some picks?
Well, it will probably have, like the limitation will be what molecular level material can you give it to print with. And it may be printing with 50 different materials as long as you can fill the hoppers with the raw materials.
So here's a question for you, Dan.
Okay.
Whenever the world is, and this is going back to a long time ago in the conversation, because we're running long tonight.
Hours into it at this point. Yeah.
But whenever you were listening to Elon, what did he have to say when okay, so he's saying that at some point we're going to just have anything that we want. But for example, somebody says, I want a guitar pick punch. And the computer says, you don't need a guitar pick punch. I can make you a guitar pick.
Mm-hmm.
Will
doesn't
the
have anything to
computer
say about that? And I don't think that I think that as a technologist and a like futurist type of person, he doesn't think about the fact that somebody might want to just make something for themselves. Like just like they might want to just like make a belt for themselves.
Uh-huh.
I don't think that
Which I do.
registers with him. Right. I don't think it registers with him that there might be somebody and this, okay, so like you say, let me kick the question back to you. Okay. You say,
yes,
well, I might want a punch to punch a hole in my leather belt. And it might be like, why don't I just make you a leather belt with holes in it? And it might fight you on that. And you might be irritated by that. But there's also a guy who's like, hey, computer, I'd like a burn barrel for inside my chicken coop. And the computer's going to say, no, you need a solar powered wind generated heater for your chicken coop. And that person's like, no, I'm too dumb for that. I want a burn barrel because the burn barrel is how you heat the chicken coop. And the computer's like, no, I'm not going to do that because that's just dumb. And like, it has to draw the line somewhere between I want to make something that's interesting that fulfills my like creative passions, and I'm just dumb. I can't think of the right question to ask. I don't know. I don't know how it takes care of that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think he knows.
I doubt it.
You know? But like, is that like, that's kind of like, I'm not saying you're on the spectrum of dumbness, but like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think anybody, and the other thing is like, okay, he says that, but here's the question. What about the things that are truly limited? What about the resources that are limited?
Sure. Yeah, like silver.
What about the limited quantity of silver? The limited quantity of land? The limited quantity of attractive women? I guess that's the AI robots like thing, you know? Like they just make more AI robot women. Like there are things that there's a hard limit on.
Yeah.
I don't think that they've accounted for the fact that there are some things that there's a hard limit on.
Yep.
I don't have an answer for it.
But we won't care about those
Like
things if we can have everything else.
Yeah. Is there a limit on this here podcast?
No.
Apparently not. It's after midnight.
No.
All right. I think we should call it.
All right.
Thanks for watching, whoever you are. You didn't ever comment, so we don't know. But maybe it was just me and somebody else. Trevor. Who knows?
That's all right.
We'll never know. We appreciate you. We might appreciate you.
We'd appreciate
we
you
don't.
more if you leave a comment.
And we know who to
our
appreciate.
listener, I promise that after we go offline, the three of us we're gonna talk about what's the point of our podcast, and then we're gonna come up with a plan real quick, and we're gonna have something great for next week.
Ooh,
Okay.
big reveal.
Great. All right. So that's it for this week. It's Not Your Average Guys. Signing off.
Signing off.
See ya.
All right.